Don't you think this is starting to wear on me? You've been raining down like hail. I'm weak. I have tried to give you my soul, but you can't love something you own. It's too late to repair what we made. What can I do? Time flashed by and I woke up on the other side.
G'day everybody, welcome to You Got Me in Stitches. I'm Anna and I hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend and or week, whatever it is that you have been up to. Okay, yeah, it has been a little while and back today with a video. This video today is going to be much different to what I intended to put out. Now obviously guys, I have been a little bit absent from this channel and I will put out a video as to why and just kind of a little bit of a general sort of catch up that will follow at some point after today's video. I'm not entirely sure when, so my first couple of videos will be in reverse. Righto, so what am I coming in today with? It is something a little bit exciting, and yeah, it has come around again so quickly, and that is the Dressmakers Bar 2023. Every year it is arranged and hosted by the two wonderful ladies, Freya and Sarah, who are the owners of Crafty Sew So. Anybody you see in the footages and or I mention and or stills will, as best as I possibly can, well, TE will, because he does all the tech, will be linked below, because a lot of the people there will have obviously their YouTube channels, and if you guys would like to check out the show notes below, maybe you might even find some new people to go and subscribe to and watch their really wonderful channels. Today's video is going to be broken up into a couple sections, kind of just me sewing and telling and showing and doing everything with creating what it is. Yeah, some things never change guys. There's still traffic, there's still dogs barking, there's still construction noises and airplanes and everything like that. So yeah, go for a whole bunch of time and yes, nothing ever changes. Along with all the chaos and noise, it is another really hot, scorching sunny day. To be fair, it just seems to be always hot and scorching here, even springtime as well as during the summer. Yes, there is actual summer, believe it or not. I know it's very rare, but it does happen, you know. But everyone else is saying about, oh yeah, you know, they're complaining they're cold and it's wet. Nah, not here. And also just show you guys what I am wearing. I have not worn this for a whole bunch of time, and it is the bathurst top. Right guys, I am going to leave it here because I'm squinting because of the sun and everything, and the dogs are still barking. I don't know. What can you do? If you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe because it really does help the channel and help reach more people. And again, thank you guys as always for stopping by, and I'll leave you with the construction of my gown and what sort of shenanigans everybody got up to at this year's Dressmakers Ball. Also linked hopefully in the show notes is to the previous Dressmakers Bars as well if you're interested. Okay guys, thank you. Righto, it is currently Sunday, September 17th. It is 16:38 PM, and as you can see in front of you, there is some fabric, and it is a mock-up. Now, this is last year's mock-up that I had for the Dressmakers Bar, so this is just the bodice, and I'm going to kind of use the bones of this and change out the design quite a lot actually, and self-draft, but kind of based a little bit on what you see here. However, I say that and it more than likely will not at all end up looking anything like this because I want to change it out somewhat. And yeah, I thought, why not start perhaps doing a little bit of that today. So all I need to do is get the quick unpick out and just rip those seams just on half the bodice, because obviously it is kind of like a mirror image, so there's no need to take all of it and deconstruct it. And I'm feeling really, really strange because I have not sewn, apart from one thing, which was a dress for my very first pitting test that I did a few weeks ago. And yeah, I have not sewn a stitch at all on my sewing machine apart from that one time. And the last time I did any sort of actual proper sewing was when I made 6, yes, that's right, you heard it here first, 6 of the Tilly Buttons Mabel dress. So I don't know, do you ever get that feeling sometimes, guys, where you kind of take yourself away from whatever it is and then you go back to it? It's almost like not seeing a friend for a whole bunch of time, and you meet up and you feel really awkward and shy and a little bit nervous but excited and happy at the same time. But I don't know, it's almost like, has the dynamics changed a little bit? I know I can sew, I have no idea what the fear is, but I just feel a little bit fearsome to kind of get back into doing actual sewing. And this is not exactly going to be an easy project because, you know, it's the ball gown for the Dressmakers ball. Also, this kind of like almost fabric framing, I guess you could call it, was everything that I did my best to kind of self-draft. Obviously, I know it's far from professional, it's just a hunk of junk really. But to be honest, it was the best that kind of I could do with the really rubbish skills that I have. And yeah, there is it's kind of draped over a plastic bin at the moment, and yeah, that's the bustle that was in there, kind of a little bit of a double bustle going on there, and kind of really rigid sort of tulle fabric, and yeah, and then the boning to add a whole bunch of extra structure. So yeah, all I'm going to do is add more boning, and also I'll probably put some tiers on here because I really would like this as a really much more better foundation than what it was. So then the outer skirt would be a lot more poofier. That's kind of what I'm envisioning. No idea if it will actually transpire to any of that, who knows. Anyway, it is a journey and I will see where I get on it. Okay, it is currently Tuesday, September 19th, and yeah, just kind of looking at pretty much similar to what you have before in the previous clips, and I have not progressed at all. And I have no idea if any of you guys have ever felt like this. It is almost like I am going into a deep dark cave of blackness, emptiness, and I feel like I have lost the ability to sew. And part of me is thinking, yes I can. However, I just feel that's probably why I've not picked up sewing for the last few months, with the exception of the little dress that I sewed for the pitting test. Yeah, I just feel really emotional, and I have no idea. I've never ever had this with my sewing ever in my life before, and no idea what is wrong. And now I've only got 3 days to complete the gown. I mean, thankfully I do not have to do obviously any of the kind of foundation of the underskirt and things like that there. And yeah, I have everything out. I'm not going to show you everything because I don't want to give away too much of the fabric and what I'm going to use or anything like that just yet. But yeah, I feel really terrified. I know it sounds really ridiculous, but again, just being honest. Righto, so the quick unpick has come out on a previous bodice, and yeah, I'm still in 2 minds. I may still completely self-draft a bodice, however I may just use this as a little bit of a starting point. And also I have on the wonderful Sewrina in the background, as you can see here, keeping me company while I rip some seams out. Righto, so I have just reconfigured the bodice for the dress, and obviously first mock up here, and yeah, I just pinned it together, so I'm just going to sew that now and then take a fitting. Alright, so you're getting a little bit of a sneak peek here of some fabric. Obviously apart from the cream fabric, which was the mock-up. Righto, so with that mock-up I have made a few tweaks, and I am only going to do one mock-up because, and I am just going to now lay it with the tweaks that I have made to the mock-up now directly on the main fabric, and hopefully all my calculations are correct, and I am going to allow myself just a little tiny bit of extra where I made a few tweaks, so then I can change anything out if I need to, because obviously once you have a little bit of extra fabric, that's easier than opposed to having slightly less, and then you have to kind of finagle everything. And yeah, I like living close to the edge, but it's not kind of that close. So yeah, there's 3 of the pieces there. I have the other piece, but this is the front piece and will need to be cut on a fold. So I am just doing the pieces now that do not need to be cut on a fold, cutting those out, and yeah, making a bit of progress. Right, so the outer bodice is all constructed, and also the lining as well. So I decided to use the same as the main fabric, mainly because it's relatively structured, albeit malleable at the same time. And next up will be the installation of the boning. First up, all important pressing and getting these seams clean in preparation for the boning. Alright, so I decided to use some of my smaller bodice tapes, and for the channels for the boning, going to have a little bit of a contrast going on. It may even end up being a little bit rainbow-ish. So yeah, right now all I'm doing is installing the bones into the channels, and as you can probably see, and yeah, that is where I am at right now. Righto, so all the multi-coloured bodice tape has been installed, and so has the boning, so that is all good to go. Righto, so as you can see, a whole bunch of bodice tape there, and yeah, it is that time to do some pressing, and then I will install the tape on the design that I have in mind. Hopefully, cross fingers, my kind of thought of the premises, what I would like for my dress, will come to fruition. So I have finished, for the most part, the decoration on the outer front bodice, and now I am attaching the lining bodice to obviously the main bodice, so going all the way around the top, and then obviously turn it through, and hopefully everything will come together okay. Righto, so at the moment I have just placed the skirt on the mannequin and spaced out 2.5 inch pleats there, and just the rest of it is just obviously all hanging down, and yeah, just so I can get kind of a bit of an idea going, and if I'm going to decide to go with these pleats or not. Kind of looks okay, even just draped on the mannequin like that, and obviously it'll hang a lot better once the hem and everything has been figured out. Righto, so since the last footage of everything, beginning with the construction of the bodice and skirt, this is kind of the final look, and right at the last kind of hour or so, literally in the hotel room, unfortunately I had absolutely zero time, so there was absolutely no filming or stills that I took of me actually doing it. Unfortunately, I decided all by hand, I cut out some of this really pretty organza, and also some straps there that I added to the bodice, and then did some little delicate gathers there and hand stitched all that. I know it's absolutely shocking, guys, I know, and it's completely unprofessional, so you're always screaming thinking it looks disgusting. I know, it does. And because obviously organza is see-through, I did some French seams, did that all by hand, and then to get the little gathering here I just ran a very basic running stitch, and then got the pink inches and just pinked the ends, and literally, and I mean literally, guys, I was doing that and I had about 5 minutes to then just kind of put a brush through my hair and put some fragrance on, and then get this kind of monstrosity on me, which was really difficult, and I did it, got dressed, and then obviously went down to the lobby. Unfortunately missed out with hanging out with some of the other ladies. I was hoping so much to kind of get this completed, and also I was terrified. You know, you guys know me, that I get really shy and I get really nervous, and yeah, so, and then obviously seeing the photos that the girls took, and it was like absolutely stunning photos, and they were messing around and having fun and doing all sorts of great things, and it was really lovely to see the pictures later on. So yeah, that's what they were kind of doing whilst I was frantically sewing these sleeves and just putting a couple of little decorations on the bodice. And then obviously we all caught up in the lobby before we actually went to the city rooms for the actual main ball itself. And there is the back, obviously, so brown bias tape. It's supposed to kind of look like trees. I think it looks something more of a petrified forest than anything else. Hey ho, you know, is what it is. You see a little sneaky peek there of the bias tape that I used to finish the interior off. And yes, I know the regular zipper that I used is also exposed because, yeah, you know, zippers and me, they are my arch nemesis. But it is what it is, so yeah, there we go. The skirt, I was playing around with some draping with all these different colour tools here, and kind of this is the result. If you can hear kind of disappointment in my voice, then you are correct. Not only with the skirt but with the bodice as well, because yeah, I guess I just confirms in my head that I have absolutely zero skill. It is what it is. Believe it or not, all these edges have been pinked. They do not look like it. Unfortunately, a couple of threads must have caught, and obviously they've pulled. You can see a little bit of the pinking there. And yeah, so I kind of draped the lilac there, and it's kind of supposed to be sort of nature's nest, like an enchanted magical garden, rainbows and everything like that. I think it's more of a disaster. Yeah, gone wrong. And then just a little bit lower down here, obviously every now and again I put some little petals on the main skirt. I put all these different flowers on, and then so they can just kind of shimmer through with the tool. Just turn it round for you guys. And then in the side parts, obviously on both sides, I put a tulip. There was quite a lot of hand stitching going on, as well as machine stitching. This middle pad is more of a train, so it is longer than the other tool. I know these pictures are not really giving anything very good justice here. So yeah, this is kind of my disastrous dress, and then on the inside it is not lined. I did add some horsehair braid, obviously not original, it's kind of synthetic, and there. Unfortunately it must not have been as structured because it did not give as much kind of volume to the hem kind of outwardly as horsehair braid would do, that I have seen on other kind of skirts, dresses and things. Anyhow, it kind of gave a little bit more of a robust hem, if not anything else. So yeah, this is it. Right guys, shall we take a look at the room that I'm staying in? And first up, there is a little mini kitchen there, and with a quick peek in the cabinets. So all the cleaning things, we have cups and bottles, glasses and everything, little stove there, and water security, cutlery, yep, even a microwave. It was like, okay. And then we have 2 steps, so great in the night if you ever needed to get up, you'd have to remember they were there. Little seating area, and yeah, it's very squeaky. I'm sure you can hear the squeaks in the background. There's also been a squeak all the way through the day and night. Sounds like a dolphin. Yeah, so fun times ahead with kind of a squeaky sounding dolphin. A little bit of artwork there. Yeah, so pretty much has everything that you need. Now, I kind of thought I may get away with using the iron, however I am wearing the 6446 overalls, jumpsuit, romper, whatever you'd like to call it, and yes, I had to give it a bit of a press this morning because it got a little bit scrunched in my luggage. So, oh, there's that squeak again. It does have a bathroom, or should I say shower room. So dunny, and shower there. Here's a really large rose there. And there we go, you see my 6646 a little bit there. So yeah, this is the room, which is awesome. And then obviously the door to come in and out there. at the city rooms, and there is a whole bunch of people already here. So yeah, well, you can see some through the window, but not very many. Oh, I'm so nervous. So nervous. this time. Apparently there's over 130. How amazing is that? It's incredible. Never known it to be this full.